Well, I just arrived over here at this little place, and dadgum deer flies are out in force. When I first pulled up, you could hear ting, 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 and that was the bugs bouncing off my truck, off my windows. I stepped out of the truck. We got a lot of big horse flies too. I got my bug stuff on. Got 100% DEET on. Forestry's been doing some controlled burn out here. Get some of this low lying growth taken care of. It's going to help the deer hunters for sure in the wintertime. Man, I just can't believe how many bugs are out here. Yeah, I can. It's time of the year for it. Well, hello campers, lovers of the great outdoors. I am Donnie Pavlini. Welcome. Today I'm going to do a tag issued to me, or I was invited to participate in, from Blackie Thomas at Black Oracle 69. Check him out on YouTube. I will leave a link. And I like this tag because the ones that I've seen gives us a really good glimpse into our peers and how they go about doing things, and you really get a chance to know them a little better. And my hopes for this video is that you'll get to know me a little better, for better or worse. Stick around. Question number 1 is, what is your most memorable camp? I'm glad you asked. My most memorable camp was a long time ago. I was a young fella, I guess around 12 or 13 years old. And me and my buddies, the Peranich boys, we built this fort, and it was awesome. We went all around DeLisle, the little town I grew up in, beg, barn, and literally stealing lumber. But this fort was awesome. It was sort of 2 stories off the ground. We built a plywood platform, put up plywood walls and stuff, and had a really strong roof on it. I mean, strong. We could get up there and, you know, do whatever we wanted to. And we had this pine tree that was right beside it, and we called it the Doc Savage tree. And you had to jump out, and it was about, I guess it was around 6 or 7 foot from the fort. And it was a young pine, and you had to jump out and grab that pine and ride it to the ground, or you had no hopes of being in the club. And it was just fun. It was just fun. But one night, we decided, okay, we're going to spend the night in our fort, you know. So we had a big time. We had our sleeping bags put up there. We built us a hell of a fire down there. I mean, it was a rager. It was big. It was a bonfire. And anyway, we were out there, and we were just having a good old time, just monkeying around. And we heard this bad rustling in the bushes, you know. And we didn't know what was going on. We were young, you know, back then. So we were a little scared. And so we said, well, we better get up in the fort, you know. We had a ladder, climbed up there and opened the fort and stuff. We had a good door. We got some hinges. It was a hinged door and everything else. But we didn't have a good latch on it. That's the thing. So anyway, we were scared. We were terrified. We got up in that fort. And anyway, we were peeping out to see, and like I said, we had this heck of a raging campfire down there. And anyway, we saw this man, and it looked like he was hunchback. I mean, he really did. He was all hunched over and stuff, and making kind of noises and stuff like that. We were terrified, terrified. And this man was coming straight for us, you know. And so anyway, we were scared. And so me and John, my buddy John, we went ahead and we shut the door, and we said, we got to hold this door shut, And John's little brother, Stephen, says, oh no, we forgot the hatchet outside. When he did, now, this next thing you know, you've seen Jack Nicholson, The Shining, here's Johnny, Well, we really had one of those kind of moments. I mean, me and John were on the left hand. He was, one of us, I can't remember, was holding up top, one was holding down below. And anyway, next thing you know, wham, here comes that hatchet, coming into that door just, and dadgum yellow fly. But anyway, and Stephen, we said, Stephen, come help us hold the door, because he was pushing against that door. He hit that hatchet and he was pushing against that door. And Stephen got scared, and he got in the sleeping bag and rolled up in a ball. Well, this went on for about 5 minutes. Then finally, you just heard the laughter outside. And it was a buddy of ours, Gray, that he knew we were going camping. And so he was bound and determined to scare us. And he was successful. And what he did, it was pretty cool. He took a pillow and he shoved it up his back, so that when he bent over like that, he literally looked like a hunchback. But yeah, we got the ever-living fire scared out of us. But it's amazing. It was cool because we thought it was real, and I learned way back then, either you're going to take action or you're going to freeze. And it was a good little lesson. I'm glad I didn't freeze. We'd been done for sure. That's my most memorable camp, I think. Or one of them. Second question is, solo or group camp? Which do you prefer? Beyond the shadow of a doubt, it's going to be solo camping. Beyond the shadow of a doubt. Lord knows I love to group camp, or or even just camp with another person. But the thing is, for me, camping's not just a recreational activity. It serves a wider purpose, and that is, it helps me to decompress, be introspective, and to not only get to know nature better, but to know myself a little better. And you can't always get that in group camps. However, God knows I love them. I love them. I think anybody that camps does, unless they're just completely antisocial, Love group camps. Love to go with my awesome friends. Love to camp with Homer Mayo. We always eat good and have a great time and laugh. But solo camp, by a wide margin, is my favorite. Okay. Third question is, what is your favorite knife? Got a few knives, but far and away, my absolute favorite knife is this. This is the Schrade Cave Bear, I believe. But this Cave Bear knife, I've had this thing for a long, long time. And I sort of shined it up to show you guys. It's an old timer. This knife was given to me by my ex-wife and my son in a time when I was a little down, and to be honest with you, they knew it just wasn't working out for me to do what I'm doing here as far as getting out in the woods and stuff. They knew I was like that, and at that time life was just happening, and lots of work and everything, so they gave me this knife for my birthday, I believe it was. And the reason why this is my favorite knife is because of its sentimental value. Now I'm hoping you can see I have my initials engraved in it, which I thought was an awesome touch. It's got the DJP on it. Do I have it upside down? No, I got it right. And for that reason, it is my favorite knife. It is my treasure, that I don't use it very much at all. In fact, I keep it razor sharp, but this is it. I used it one time. It's just got a little bit of wear on the blade that way, where I just messed with the stick a little bit, and I keep it sharp. It is absolutely made in the USA, and yeah, I think this knife is going on about 20 years old, something like that. And but I love it. The sheath's still in good shape. I need to oil it though. I really do. It's getting a little dry and stuff. Snap still works great, but I keep it in a safe place. That is my favorite knife. Question number 4. Where did you learn woodcraft or bushcraft? Well, everything that you learn starts with, oftentimes, an interest. And my interest began when I was very young, and I can explain that interest in 2 words: Fess Parker. And in particular, the Daniel Boone television series is where I developed my interest, strong interest in woodcraft and wanting to learn how to be a woodsman. When I'd watch his shows, it would inspire me to get out in my playtime in the woods, which was that's where my playground was. There was never in my childhood, there was no slides and merry-go-rounds and things like that unless you went into town, into the city. My playground was the woods, and I loved it. I knew every square inch of those woods behind my place, and but anyway, I wanted to have a log cabin, okay? And my cousin, a girl, and I guess she was about, 6 or 7 years, no, well, she was definitely 6 years. Anyway, she was a good deal older than me. And one day I was just discouraged and everything. I was a little fella. I guess I was about 6 years old or something. She said, "What's wrong?" I said, "I want a cabin like Daniel Boone. I want a cabin. I want a cabin." And you know the way people make fire reflector walls where you drive 4 stakes in the ground and just stack your logs up? Well, that's the exact technique that Ann showed me to make my 3 walls, and then we made a little roof on top, and we didn't make a door. But that was my first log cabin. From that point, I was hooked. I mean hooked. Now, and as I grew and everything else, I started learning some things just by being out there and reading a lot of books written by Edwin Tunis on the American Indian. Yeah, I didn't say Native American because they weren't titled Native American. It was American Indian. I loved Indians. I loved anything to do with Indians. And I read every book by Edwin Tunis that I could get my hands on. And back then, being a child, one of the things that I loved about his books is that Edwin Tunis, this author, illustrated all of his books. And he was a phenomenal artist. They were black and white drawings, but they were very accurate. And to this day, I've got a few Edwin Tunis books that I refer to from time to time. But, and then later on in life, seeing, this kind of stuff, YouTube, that inspired me to dig a little deeper into why am I going out here camping? I mean, and what's some better ways of doing things? So, in a large way, I have you guys to thank for that, because I got a little deeper, okay? Question number 5, what is your favorite way to build a fire? Ferro rod. Yeah, I love them. I admit it. And this is my favorite ferro rod. This was a ferro rod that came with a knife that I purchased from Tom Chitwood. And this thing, it's big, it's beefy, it's got a nice handle on it, got a nice bungee on it, and it just shoots up a ton of sparks. Ferro rod, my favorite. Question number 6, number 1 tool in my kit. Of course, if you're in the woods, your first tool should be a knife, But I'm going to show you my second favorite. It's my axe. I'm going to back this camera up a little bit. Yeah, this is my axe. This is my Council Tool Hudson Bay axe that I've had for, I don't know, 3 or 4 years now. And it's been with me. It's taking a licking. It keeps on ticking, and I keep her sharp. Got a little nick there in the blade. I'm going to have to address that. But everything else, yeah, she's nice. Doesn't weigh much, and because of the length of it, it's like a boy's axe, really. But you know, you can two-hand it. It's also when you're solo camping, it gives you a little bit of security and stuff. And when you're walking through the woods, it gives you a little bit of security. But yeah, this tool, this Council Tool axe, it's definitely a favorite of mine. Love it. Well, question number 7. Do you have a bug out bag that you keep in your truck? Well, I guess you could say that's a little embarrassing. Yeah, I got bug out bag and then some. I love what I do. This is my life and my lifestyle, and yeah, I got a bug out bag for sure. Okay, question number 8. What is your favorite stove? Again, not really much of a test for me. It is my Jetboil. I have 2, and this is the Jetboil Zip, and it's smaller, but it works. It just does. It's light. It's convenient to carry in a pack. Carry stove and fuel all in one. Now my favorite cooking stove on a solo trip, something to cook on now, we're not talking about something to boil water, is going to be my Trangia alcohol stove and you know, my cook kits. The Trangia is the burner, but the actual stove is a sterno stove that I put in there. It's very stable, and it works well, and I can control my temperature. But my favorite #1 stove that I use all the time is going to be my Jetboil, because I love my coffee, and this gets the job done. Now, question number 9 is one that was an additional one that was added by Blackie, and that is, why did you start your YouTube channel? That's a big question, and I thought about it, and I guess at the time I started my YouTube channel, I was inspired by Dual Survival, Dave Canterbury and Cody Lundeen and stuff, and really piqued my interest. I started looking into YouTube and saw I didn't even know it existed. I never knew the word bushcraft, never heard of it. But anyway, I saw all this kind of stuff, and it was just right up my alley. And I also looked down below and saw comments and things like that. And I said, well, I discovered there's a community here. So that's why I did it. I wanted to be able to connect with other people that had the same kind of interest that I have. And it's been a blessing. It has been a heck of a ride. I encourage you, if you're out there and you have an interest in making videos, if you've got a cell phone, you can make videos. And I encourage you to do so, because everybody has something to offer. Everyone. We can all learn from each other and benefit from each other's victories and defeats, because it all works to a greater purpose of making us better woodsmen. Okay? Well, that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Now, Blackie has charged me with tagging 5 additional people to possibly participate in this tag. Now, guys, y'all know how tags go. If you're busy, don't worry about it. It's okay. But if you can, remember, the purpose of this is to get to know each other better, okay? I'd appreciate it if you'd participate. First one's going to be one of my favorite, best all-time friends on YouTube and just in general. It's got to be Mike Ware with Absorbed Self-Reliance. Mike, I love you, brother, and I would really be interested and what you have to say regarding this tag. The second person I'd like to tag would be Tim Robson over there in the UK. I love Tim. I love his approach, and he's a man after my own heart. And his buddy, the chef extraordinaire, he's probably, I don't say, he camps all the time. All the time. I'm so jealous of him, and I love his channel. And that would be Chef John with Carlisle 95, I think it is. I'll put the name of that channel in there. But I watch John, I watch all of your videos. I love them. I'm glad you got that dog. That dog's awesome. And I just love you guys over there in the UK. I always have and always will. The fourth person I would like to tag, if he would be so inclined to participate, is a man that I have admired for many years, and that is Mike with Bushcraft Bartons. Mike and Josie. I love your channel. I love your content. I love the way you present it. You present Canada, and if I ever get a chance to go to Canada, I will go in a New York minute, because I think it is the most beautiful place that there ever was. But yeah, Mike and Josie Barton, I would appreciate if you'd participate in this tag. Okay. The fifth person that I would like to tag would have to be my friend Wayne with Cole Craven Bushcraft. He's another Canadian, and he's just a Cole Craven is a treasure chest of knowledge. I love his channel. I love I love Cole Craven. I love Wayne. Wayne's a good guy, and there's much to be learned and much to be enjoyed from Wayne's channel, so check him out. Well, I appreciate everybody that was a little bit concerned about me with this storm that's coming in, this subtropical storm. I didn't know what a subtropical storm was, but I found out, my cousin told me that it's one of them sneaky storms that acts like a submarine, and it goes down like that, and it comes up out of the water real quick and gets you. But we were all worried about it, but I summoned my powers and sent a sexy tsunami wave, and it was like a billion little solid gold dancers karate kicking that bad boy off away from us. And I'm sorry, Alabama and South Mississippi, you're welcome. So anyway, I'm fine. I'll be high and dry, and I'll be looking forward to seeing you guys again on the next video. From Donnie Pavlini Outdoors to you and yours. Hey, man, let's get in it. Let's do something. Take care. Karate kick.